Okay, good day. Welcome to the General Surveying 1 course. I am Engineer Mari Chuitang. I am a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Geodetic Engineering from Visayas State University, a licensed geodetic engineer, and I will be your instructor for the rest of the semester in this subject. So in this presentation, I am going to introduce to you the course objective, the different topics that we are going to discuss for the whole course, including the lab guides, the laboratory guide, um, introduction of the how to make a laboratory reports, and so on. Um, to start, the course description. This is a basic plane surveying operations and computational methods of position, traverse, and areas application to engineering. So most of the terms are not familiar with you. Example, the traverse, the areas, the plane surveying. So these terms will be discussed for the next presentation as we go through the introduction of surveying. Okay. So the objective of this course, so at the end of this subject, so the student should be able, number one, describe the broad understanding of surveying theory and its application. Describe a range of surveying field skills and practices. Demonstrate and apply angular and distance measurement methods. Also, demonstrate and apply survey adjustments techniques to data from a survey traverse. Solve plane, coordinate, and area problem. Use the engineer's transit or theodolite to undertake level traverse and traversing. So most of the objective of this course is for you to gain skills in using the instruments and to gain knowledge and skills on the different methods of field surveys. uh, Sad to say, we're not yet allowed to go to school to perform these laboratory exercises. So for the meantime, I will provide video tutorials for the some of the laboratory requirements, and maybe the rest of the exercises will be performed next year. So if the situation will be okay, and we were allowed to go to school, so we can perform the rest of exercise. So the first three exercise will be performed at home. So I guess kaya lang siyang gawin sa bahay. So but the rest it should be performed in school. So the course content and the topics. So these are the uh, chapter topics that we need to discuss. So the introduction to surveying, we have the linear measurements. For number 3, we have the engineer's transit and theodolite. So where you are going to the introduction of the instruments. We have number 4, the angular measurement. 5, the traverse and traversing. Number 6, the area computation. Number 7, we have the leveling. And number 8, the brief introduction to cartography. So for the chapter 1, so introduction to the surveying, so this will be discussed for next presentation later. So this is the rest of the subtopics, including the history, the functions of the genetic engineer, what we're going to do, the types of the survey that we are going to perform, the surveying units in measurement, the concept of error, mistake, accuracy, precision, most probable value. So the rest are mostly you take up in the high school, um, the error, the most probable value, probable error, which I hope you take up in your high school for the statistics subjects. So chapter 2, so these are the linear measurement, the subtopics. We have the survey party, the surveyor's hand signal. So we're in the field, we're going to have a survey field notebook, methods of equipment use in linear measurement, and so on. So for the chapter 3, So engineers transit and theodolite. So this is the instrument that we are going to use if we're going to perform a survey. So you will be trained to use how to care and the proper handling of the instrument and the adjustment. For angular measurement, this is chapter 4. So the rest, polar rectangular coordinates, meridian and magnetic declination, angles and direction, bearing and azimuth. So the terms are not yet familiar with you. So we have the traverse and the traversing, the area computation, leveling, and here is the laboratory exercise. For the laboratory exercise, we have 13 laboratory exercises to be performed in this whole course. But laboratory exercise number 1, 2, and 3 are the exercises that can be performed at home only. So, kailangan lang may measurement tape, pwede nang gawin yung exercise. For the rest of the exercises, 4 to 13, it should be performed on the field with the use of the instruments. So, this will be performed next year. So, for the whole October to December until January, so I hope we can finish all the lectures so that for February, we can perform the all of the laboratory exercises. Okay? So for the course requirement, so a student must perform all the laboratory exercises. So some of the laboratory exercises will be made individual, some are in groups. So complete field notebook. So for now, I won't require a field notebook, but only a small notebook that encompasses the data that you gathered on the field. So, lahat ng data na nakukuha mo sa field, so dito mo yan ilalagay, yung tinatawag natin na field notebook. Submission of lab reports, it should be 1 week after the conduct of the exercise. So, we can adjust this schedule since may pandemya tayo. So, I think the laboratory exercise, the submission of the lab reports are not necessarily in 1 week after the conduct of the. So, how to write a lab report? So, ito yung top heading ng lab reports. Kung makikita nyo. So, ito yung logo ng EBSU. Tapos, yung title yung subject, tapos yung title ng laboratory reports. Yung laboratory report ay, number 1, we have the introduction, the objective, instrument na ginagamit, we have the procedure, data results and discussion, and yung conclusion. And, syempre, yung references, yung libro na references. Yung introduction natin, kailangan lang short and simple. Simple lang. Almost 2 to 3 paragraphs. Introduce and define the laboratory exercise. So, introduce mo lang yung information ng laboratory exercise mo. Magbigay ng mga application or important kung ano yung importance ng laboratory exercise. Yung objective natin, pwede mo siyang i-rephrase yung lab guide na ibibigay ko sa inyo. So, the procedure, yung discussion, paano mo ginawa yung laboratory exercise, it should be a narration yung laboratory exercise. For example, ito yung nakasulat sa lab guide. Ito yun, procedure lab guide. Tapos, ito yung nakasulat sa lab report mo. So, sa lab guide, naka-number yan, step by step. A straight level of a course of a known length will be assigned, so on and so on. So, basically, Naka-numbering yung nasa lab guide. So, pagdating naman sa lab report mo, ito yung nakalagay. So, narration na nung ginawa mo sa field. So, kung ito yung lab guide, i-rephrase mo siya na maging narration. So, maging narrative na yung output mo. Kung ano yung ginawa mo sa field. Okay? So, data results and discussion. So, kailangan mo ipakita yung data na nag-gather mo. So, you have the conclusion. Kung ano yung objective mo, sasagutan mo dito sa conclusion. Okay. So, references. Medyo stricta ako pagdating sa references. Kailangan talaga nakalista yung mga libro, yung mga website. So, dito tayo sa field notes. Ano ba yung field notes? Yung field notes constitute the only reliable and permanent record of the actual work done in the field. So, para siyang listahan ng mga data or yung kung anong ginagawa mo sa field. So, ito yun. So, if notes are incorrect or incompletely done, yung oras mo, yung pera, tapos yung effort, mawawala. Kasi, magiging void yung survey mo. Tapos, magsusurvey ulit kung mali-mali yung sinusulat mo sa field notes. So, the quality of the field work is reflected directly in the manner he keeps his final record. Kasi yung field notes, ito yung official record ng survey na ginawa mo sa field. Okay? Ito yung official record. So, to eliminate common mistakes in note-keeping, so the following guide points are given. So, para hindi magkamaling magsulat ng mga data. So, follow a consistent, simple style of writing. So, mostly ang mga students ko noon, hindi consistent yung pagkakasulat. So, use sharp pencil. So, pag hindi maganda yung lapis na nagagamitin, pwedeng ma-erase yung mga data or hindi siya masyadong malinis tingnan. So, record directly in the field book immediately. So, for example, yung survey mo ngayon, so, sa scratch paper mo lang siya sinulat. Hindi mo inilagay sa field notebook. So, the next day, survey ulit kayo, continuation, tapos nawala yung scratch paper mo. So, wala. So, balik ulit kayo kung saan kayo nagsimula. So, that is the risk. Upon recording and observed data, so take note, do not erase recorded data. So, if a number has been recorded incorrectly, a line is run through it. So, without destroying the legibility, and the correct value is written above of the mistake. So, the entire page is to be deleted. Diagonal lines are drawn from the opposite corner and void is lettered prominently. So, wag kang mag-erase ng data. Ang gagawin mo, i-crash out mo lang siya ng diagonal X line para maging transparent yung incorrect data na nilagay mo. And write void on the whole page. Again, do not erase recorded data for transparency. So, avoid crowding observed data. Always bring along a straight edge for ruling lines and small protractors for laying off. So, for example, ito yung face ng survey field notebook mo. And isusulat mo dito yung title. So, for example, ng title ng survey na ginawa nyo is differential leveling. So, you have the date and time, kailan yung ginawa yung survey, anong oras, kung saan, ito yung data mo, kailangan nakatabulate para mas malinis tingnan. Tapos, yung sketch. So, yung buong sketch. Tapos, yung signature ng surveyor. Tapos, yung page number. So, sa survey field notebook, pag mali yung data, for example, ito yung 2.35. Hindi dapat 2.35. So, anong gagawin? Ang gagawin ka, crash out mo lang siya, tapos yung correct value, ilalagay mo siya sa ibabaw. Okay. Pag whole page naman yung nagkamali, so again, sabi ko kanina, kailangan lalagyan siya ng diagonal lines, tapos susulatan ng void. Parang ganito. So, to avoid misinterpretation of data, use sketches other than tabulation. So, may nakatabulat ka na data, dapat may nakalagay din na sketch. So, indicate the north to the top of the page of the field notebook for all the sketches. Dapat may direction kung saan nakaharap yung survey natin. So, computations in the field should be recorded in the field notebook in order that they can be checked later. So, this is the main purpose for review. Lahat ng computations mo, dapat nakasulat din sa field notebook. So, the checks are necessary to determine if there is a need to repeat a particular observation or measurement. So, pag gumagawa ng survey every time, kailangan mo i-check yung data mo, i-check mo yung computation mo. Number every page of the field notebook. Why? So, there should be no doubt with regards to the correct sequence of the recorded field data. So, para alam mo kung merong page na nawala, merong page na na-void, so dapat numbered yung pages ng field. And that's it. So, hindi ko alam kung applicable to sa inyo. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So, parang tama naman. So, pag wala kang ginawa, sayang yung talent mo. So, okay na? Are you ready for these scores? So, for the next presentation, we are going to start the introduction of the surveying. We'll discuss the history, the principles and concept of surveying. So, any questions? So, I guess question number 1 is paano yung lab reports? So, the lab reports, wag mo nang problemahan yung lab reports for now. So, let's focus on the lecture muna. So, I will give you an example of the laboratory reports for your guide. Anyway, we're going to conduct the laboratory reports naman on the last term of the semester. Okay, thank you for your time and good luck on your journey in becoming a genetic engineer. Keep safe and see you on the next lecture. Thank you.